Have you ever wondered what would happen if you stopped saying no? Just for one day, every time life asked you something, you simply said, yes. That's exactly what I decided to do. 24 hours, no backing out, no excuses, just yes. It sounded simple, but the thing about saying yes, it doesn't always mean easy. The morning started innocent enough. Want to go for a run? My inner voice asked. Normally I'd laugh that off, but today, I said yes. 5 minutes later, I remembered exactly why I don't run. But something strange happened. The more I said yes, the louder life got. Suddenly, my quiet routine turned into a parade of opportunities. And chaos. Here's what nobody tells you about saying yes. You start discovering the parts of yourself that have been waiting for permission. So I said yes. To people, to discomfort, to fear. And every yes felt like a tiny rebellion against the old me. But let me tell you, not all yeses are wise ones. First came coffee with my overly energetic neighbor. Then came the caffeine jitters that made my soul vibrate. Then karaoke, let's just say some songs are better left unsung. By noon, I was helping a stranger move furniture I didn't even own. Every time I wanted to quit, that word whispered back, "You promised." And slowly something shifted. I stopped asking if I could handle it, I just did. By afternoon, yes had become automatic, like breathing, like instinct. That's when the real test arrived. A text popped up. Our speaker canceled. Can you give a talk tonight? My brain screamed, absolutely not. But my 24-hour rule said otherwise. So I said it, out loud, yes, and instantly my stomach turned into origami. There's a moment after you say yes before anything happens that feels like jumping without looking. And then you jump. That fall, that's where growth hides. There I was, shaking behind a podium, heart racing, voice cracking. And then something incredible happened. People smiled, they clapped, they cared. Fear didn't disappear when I said yes, it just became background music. For the first time, I wasn't scared of being scared. But the night wasn't over. There was one more yes waiting for me. My friend called, "Midnight swim. You in?" Every logical part of me screamed no. But logic wasn't running the show tonight. I stood at the edge of the lake, moonlight sketching silver ripples. My heart whispered, don't. My promise whispered, do. I dipped a toe in, freezing. Every part of me yelled, no. But then I laughed. Because saying yes isn't about comfort, it's about curiosity. So I dove in, ink and chaos everywhere. For a second, everything went quiet. Just breath, heartbeat, and moonlight. And somewhere between fear and freedom, I felt it. That rush that only exists after a full-body yes. Maybe saying yes isn't about opportunity. Maybe it's about aliveness. When I surfaced, even the stars looked different, like they'd been redrawn overnight. My friend splashed beside me, laughing. "You actually did it." "Of course," I said, shivering. "I'm a man of yes now." We floated there in silence, two little sketches under a giant sky, realizing how small and lucky we were. And somewhere out there, a quiet voice asked, "What happens after yes?" That night I dreamt of the yes spirit. It looked exactly like me, only made of moving ink and light. It said, "You humans think saying yes is about bravery. It's really about trust." "Trust in what?" I asked. "Trust that even if it breaks you a little, you'll rebuild bigger." I wanted to remember that forever, but dreams fade faster than ink and rain. I woke up to sunlight scratching through the blinds. My 24 hours weren't over yet, but something inside me was quietly, confidently different. I made coffee again. Only this time I didn't need anyone to ask. I realized I'd been waiting for permission. From people, from luck, from fear. But permission isn't given, it's claimed. So I said yes to something smaller, but scarier. Forgiving myself for all the times I said no before. The world felt lighter, like every line around me had more room to breathe. I started noticing the tiny invitations of life. The ones you miss when you're busy protecting yourself. A stranger waved, I waved back first. A dog barked hello, I barked back. Its owner laughed, I laughed harder. And somewhere in those silly moments I realized, saying yes doesn't change the world. It changes the way the world meets you. But there was one final yes left, the hardest one of all. The mirror didn't lie. It showed me every version of myself that had ever whispered no. The one who said no to love, the one who said no to dreams, the one who said no to living fully. For the first time, I didn't look away. I said yes to them too. Because saying yes isn't about adding more, it's about accepting what already is. I whispered, yes, I've failed. Yes, I've feared. Yes, I'm still worthy. And every no I'd ever said melted away like spilled ink. I thought saying yes was about adventure. It was really about healing. The clock ticked. 23 hours gone. One left. Then across the sky I saw it. A message scribbled like a dare. Say yes to yourself. And I knew exactly what that meant. I grabbed my old journal, the one full of excuses. I crossed out every maybe, every not yet, every someday. Under all that ink, one word remained me. For years I'd said yes to everyone else's plans, but no to my own voice. That's the trap most of us live in. Confusing people-pleasing with purpose. So I took a breath and wrote my final yes. Yes, I wrote, to becoming who I already am. And when I looked up, the whole world felt rewritten. Even the air looked clearer, as if confidence had redrawn the lines. It wasn't magic, it was mindset. I started walking slower, not running from life, not chasing it, just walking with it. That's what yes really means. Not chaos, not exhaustion, but alignment. Because once you stop fighting the moment starts fighting for you. The 24 hours ended quietly. No fireworks, no applause, just stillness. And in that stillness, I realized something powerful. I wasn't scared of life anymore. I was scared of not living it. And that blank space ahead of me, that's where yes lives forever. The rest of the page is yours now. What will you write on it? Because the world doesn't reward safety, it rewards sincerity. So say yes. Not because you should, but because you can. Say yes to small steps, to messy art, to awkward love, to failed plans, to wild faith. Because yes isn't just a word, it's a doorway. And every time you walk through it, you meet a new version of yourself. The kind that's not waiting to be ready. Because ready or not, you're already in the story. So go ahead, say it with me one last time. Yes. Because once you say yes to life, life starts saying yes back. Try it. 24 hours. One day of saying yes. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find the version of yourself that's been waiting all along. The yes experiment. Say yes and watch what happens. After the experiment ended, I thought life would snap back to normal. It didn't. The word yes followed me everywhere. Like a quiet song I couldn't turn off. I noticed other people started saying it too. It was like optimism had gone viral. A coworker pitched her idea. My neighbor forgave an old friend. Even my cat finally let me brush him. Okay, that last one might be coincidence. But energy echoes. What you express teaches others how to exist. I used to think confidence was something you earned. Turns out it's something you practice. Like any muscle, it grows when you lift small yeses every day. So I made it a habit, one new yes every single day. Sometimes it was big, applying for a project I thought was out of my league. Sometimes it was tiny, saying hi first, holding eye contact, staying 5 seconds longer in the moment. Each yes carved a little more courage into my outline. I started journaling every yes, and rereading them felt like flipping through proof of life. People asked, "Aren't you scared of saying yes to the wrong things?" I smiled, because yes doesn't mean forever, it just means now. That's the beauty of it. Every yes can turn into a lesson. And honestly, some of the best lessons come disguised as bad decisions. Even regret can be grateful, if you let it teach you. Every yes builds a story, every no freezes one. So I chose to live on the moving side of the page. I said yes to dancing in public, yes to trying sushi again, yes to painting terribly, and yes to calling my dad. Each yes turned fear into flavor. Something to taste, not avoid. And slowly, life stopped feeling like survival and started feeling like art. Art doesn't ask if it's ready, it just happens. That's what courage is. The willingness to look messy while growing beautiful. So when people asked, did it change you? I said no. It revealed me. Because saying yes doesn't create a new you. It uncovers the one who's been waiting. Maybe that's all growth really is. Remembering who you already were. The more I practiced yes, the less I needed control. Control, I realized, is just fear pretending to be responsibility. And fear is just the part of you that forgot you're strong. So I stopped fighting it. I started thanking it. Because once you befriend fear, you realize you never needed permission to be brave. That's the paradox of yes. It begins with surrender and ends with strength. I began teaching others about the experiment. 24 hours of yes. Some laughed, some rolled their eyes, some tried it and changed. One friend quit his job, another called her mom. A kid started his YouTube channel. I realized something huge. Inspiration isn't about impressing people. It's about including them. When people feel invited, they move. That's the real ripple of yes. It doesn't end with you. It becomes community, art, kindness, connection, and before you know it, the world looks just a little less afraid. All because one little stick figure on a beige page said yes one morning. We wait for signs from the universe, forgetting we're the ones holding the pen. So draw something today. Anything. Even if it's shaky. Even if it's small. The page won't judge you, it's just waiting. Maybe that's the real secret of life. It's not about saying yes to everything. It's about knowing which yes belongs to your soul. When your yes is true, even your no's feel peaceful. Balance isn't saying less, it's saying what matters. Now my yeses are quieter, slower, deeper. They sound like yes to rest, yes to healing, yes to boundaries. Because the bravest yes is the one that doesn't need applause. It just needs you. If you're hearing this right now, maybe this is your invitation. Not to say yes to everything, but to say yes to something. The something you've been afraid to begin. Go knock on it. If it opens, walk through. If it doesn't, draw your own doorway. That's the power of yes. It makes possibility portable. Wherever you go, new chances follow. Even failure looks friendlier when you travel with curiosity. That's all yes ever asks of you. To stay curious. Because curiosity is hope disguised as play. And the world belongs to the ones still playing. So laugh, fall, try, begin again. When fear knocks, answer with 3 letters that built universes. Because every dream you've ever had is waiting behind a yes. So go. Messy, brave, loud, quiet, but go. And when you get there, remember who started it all. One tiny choice, one scribbled morning, one word. That's all it takes to redraw your entire life. Ink doesn't care what you meant to draw, it only responds when you move. So move. Let every stroke, every smudge, every mistake mean something. Because art isn't perfect, it's honest. And so is life. Here's to the yes that scares you most. the one that might just save you. Here's to the leap you'll take before you're ready. And here's to the moment your fear and your faith finally look each other in the eye and shake hands. Courage isn't loud, it's the quiet click of a door you finally open. Inside that door isn't a new world, it's just you, unedited. And that's the most beautiful thing you'll ever meet. I used to wait for signs, now I make them. Because every yes is a direction, not a destination. Don't look for the finish line. Look for the next yes. And when it scares you, good. That means it matters. Climb anyway, slowly, shakily, honestly. Halfway up, you'll think you can't. 3/4 up, you'll know you can. At the summit, you'll realize it was never about reaching the top. It was about learning you could rise. That's what yes does. It raises the ground beneath you until flying feels familiar. So say yes to fear, to effort, to uncertainty, to love. Say yes to showing up even when it's messy. Say yes to beginning even when you have no idea how it ends. Say yes to life because life already said yes to you. Maybe that's all we're really doing here, just trying to answer back. When the page turns tomorrow, don't wait for perfect lines. Draw badly, begin bravely, say yes anyway. Because the masterpiece was never the drawing. It was the courage to pick up the pen. Once you say yes to life, life starts saying yes back. The yes experiment. Try it for 24 hours and watch what happens. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next one.